game. Here we go. This is the battle, one of the three key battles for second place. Nepo with a win can tie Wesley, and he's going to have to hope that other people knock out MVL and
H4.
H4.
I like that.
H4, yeah.
We're getting some action.
Okay.
H5, let's go.
Very promising start here, guys.
Let's go. Now, castle is most likely going to be met with perhaps queen to a4, followed by queen to h4.
Mm-hmm.
Try to checkmate the black king.
That's a known trick, yeah, like swinging the queen along the fourth rank.
Yeah. I'm sorry I haven't gotten an update on my transmission, unfortunately.
Bishop to f5, h6.
Okay, now you have it. Now you have it.
Now we have it.
H5.
H6.
H6,
Yes.
the way Alpha Zero likes to do it.
Yeah.
Just get the pawn on H6
And then castle.
No,
play like nothing happens.
But whoa, I mean, look at these moves. Just
But
like
now there is nothing on the king side you wanted to say, Yasser.
Yeah,
right?
no
And
open H-file.
I would say the same, but it turns out that this concept is outdated, and yeah, they just keep this H pawn alive, and then later on in some end game, you know, it pays off.
wow.
Yeah, we should be watching more engine games. I mean,
Exactly.
if there was nothing else to do.
Knight H2. Somebody explain that one to me. Just right here.
There you go,
H2.
knight to e4.
Knight H2.
With the idea to go knight to e4.
Yeah, Knight E4, yes. It's
And I
based
guess
on
what
some-
he was not wanting to see on the board was d3, c4, that sequence.
He didn't want to see on the board.
So that's why he played knight to h2, to get the knight to e4.
Yeah,
And not get the knight to e4 via d3 followed by knight to e4 because of c4.
I see.
Okay.
So we have
now,
Queen
after
D7, kind of keeping this knight in abeyance here. Knight on H2, to my eyes, makes such a pathetic impression. I just repulsive, I would say. Rook C8, Rook D8,
What
Knight
did he do?
D4.
Bishop G2?
Bishop to G2.
Did he play Bishop G2? Yeah, because I thought Queen H3 might have been a bit annoying.
Okay, Rook D8, Rook C8, Knight D4 and C4. Why aren't I just much better?
I think you're just better right now.
With the
You
with
might
the black
as well
pieces.
be. Okay, he starts with an immediate
Look,
C4.
it's not Fisher random, but the knight on H2 and the bishop on G2 have almost crossed the third rank. Almost. I mean, there's Nepo still sees the defensive, and he's clinging to it.
And just to give you an update on that battle of the youth between Firouzja and Van Forest.
Yes.
It's an endgame. Firouzja with a slight edge definitely will be nursing that for the remainder of the game.
Okay, guess what, guys? He's brought his knight back into
Knight F3,
play.
right?
Great stuff, huh?
Well, I have to say, the history of, like, between those two, I remember Wesley starting by having, like, 5-0 lead against Nepo. Like,
5-0?
in classical games, yeah.
I remember one game from the Tata Steel, the last round, where
Olympiads
Wesley...
and so on and so on. There have been a lot
the
of...
Olympiad, too.
Yeah, there have been a lot of wins for Wesley.
I remember because Nepo in the Olympiad had like a 6-0 start, and Wesley stopped him cold. That was Baku?
Yeah, that was Baku Olympia
Yeah.
2016, there is.
Exactly.
There's something about Nepo in this tournament. He got a lot of completely losing positions out of the opening.
Right?
I can remember this one. I can remember the one versus Van Forest. Against Magnus, one of them was also extremely bad. So he's really suffering in the opening, which is a bit unusual.
He was really run hot and cold. There's no question about that. In this event, it's strange what he's been doing. This position, okay, if he struggles his way to an equality, you know, you tip your hat, but why get such a bad position out of the opening?
Yeah.
No idea. Here, I would also kind of be thinking about B5. He played knight B4.
A3, and
A3.
Wesley went knight A2.
Wesley,
Honestly, I don't like it so much.
Wesley thinking of perhaps grabbing the bishop. A move like B3, C3, somehow could play havoc with the position for white.
All right, I just picked at the engine.
Yes.
White is much better.
What?
Yeah.
By which move?
E4, apparently.
E4.
E4.
Don't ask me why this much.
E4, E5, and then you kick the bishop all the way back to H8.
I think he played
guess,
it.
and
No, he played
E3. He was close.
E3. Yeah, but I don't like what Wesley did with this knight before.
I don't
knight A2.
understand
I think
it
it's
either.
too slow.
I was thinking B5 and just advance.
I guess you can play E4 again.
E4 again. Yeah.
Again,
On a second attempt, right? I mean, the
Sorry,
pawn's
yeah.
gonna get.
get your
E4.
pawn to B4 and
But
come on.
wouldn't you agree, Yasser, that now playing E3, E4, it's much harder
Oh, it's almost
than
impossible.
E2, E4.
It's almost
you
impossible.
just play D3, right?
Right?
But what do you play next? I mean,
Well,
you don't
that's the
have
problem.
moves.
He may be forced to find
Yeah,
it.
maybe he'll be forced to find because
The alternatives all look terrible.
No,
Did he
I
play
think he did
D4?
something. D4.
D4
But wait a
inviting
second.
en passant?
D4, yeah, is en
me,
passant a
what?
thing?
What is this move?
Okay, en passant,
and
he's
Rook
he's
C2.
probably planning bishop D2 and then some.
Rook C2. So
Yeah, I think
you
he's
take
gonna fall apart.
Bishop.
there. Bishop D2, Rook C2, right? And then
By the
B2 is
way-
hanging and everything's hanging.
You're gonna be sorry you haven't played E3, E4, E5. What is Wesley thinking about? This is a golden. No.
C3.
C3. How? could
Wait
you-
a second.
What is going on?
But then at the very least, I can take
By
on
the way,
C3, go Rook A1. Ah, no.
By the way,
Finally, he plays E4 on the third
After
try,
C3, okay, on the third attempt.
the third.
Wow.
which was, by the way, the best move in the position.
Which was finally the best move in the position. It's just
Okay,
that some
I mean,
people prefer to play E4 and move on.
Oh, wow. E4. Okay. By the way, I
results?
mean,
Not yet.
we're kind of trashing the players a little bit here. We've got to understand they've played hard for 5 days. Then this is the last of the
Yeah.
ninth game, but that move C3 by Wesley is really a head scratcher. Pawn takes en passant, opening up the rook on C8.
Is
to
the
C2.
second best move in the position,
C3.
Yes.
C3.
and by not a big margin.
Wow.
Actually, after
Interesting.
D4, it was white who is already better.
Ah, so D4 was a cool move.
It's a good move.
So
And
what?
now this bishop
E5.
actually on H8 is going to make a woeful impression. But is he sacrificing an exchange? Yes.
He does.
He does. Take it. Knight on A2 is also a strange looking animal.
Absolutely. So now the knight.
Wait a
is-
minute. He took on F6?
Yeah,
And
which is very surprising.
No,
Should
but
have
that-
taken the knight, right? So that the bishop has
The
to drop
bishop is
to
dead
H8.
after that, right?
Yeah, the bishop had to drop to H8 where it would be doing absolutely nothing.
So now you're just
So
an
now-
exchange down.
But
it
wait a
seems.
sec. How do you? Yeah, do you keep the E7
Gee.
pawn? It doesn't look like you do.
You don't. You don't because I
Yeah.
have knight to
After
D5
rook E1, there will be rook C7, right?
or knight D5.
Or even knight D5 is there. Yeah, rook E1, knight
Knight
A4.
A4. Right, and bishop A1, rook to C1.
That's,
That's
very
a nice
cool
way
move.
of rescuing the
How
knight
about
on
pushing
A2?
the pawns? D5, yeah.
He's going
yeah,
for it.
go here. Yeah, knight B2, D6. Who's winning?
Right.
Wait, that's a crazy position.
Knight B2, D6, knight D3,
Yeah, you
Right.
probably have to take it. right?
followed by knight C5.
Now I have no choice. I have to take the bishop.
Yeah,
I have
D6,
to go knight
you go
D3.
there. I should probably attack the
Ds.
A2 knight, right?
Well, D6.
D7, you mean?
D7?
No,
Right.
he attacks
Rook
one of
D3,
the
knight
knights, but that's a
C5.
wrong knight to attack, no? Shouldn't have just attack? Okay, whatever. It's a crazy position, nevertheless. Rook down. Bishop D5 is a threat, among other things.
Yeah, true.
Bishop. Don't play
And
F6.
Yeah,
Don't play
no,
F6.
bishop D5 check will hurt. Also, knight G4 potential.
Yeah,
threat?
knight G4 is, yeah, that's why you have this
knight
H6
D7.
pawn. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying, yeah.
By the way, Shekriar won against
Okay, but
Veselin.
guys, how do you get out of this?
This is like a crazy. I'm a rook ahead.
How do you get
But
out
I
of
may
this?
have to play a move like rook D8 and just
D8,
just
just
say take my rook.
But I don't take it.
Yeah, but white might just
You don't
ignore
take it.
right?
If you play with that rook, then I just go knight G4, and then if you take on D6, E8, and that's a mate.
I see.
And
So you have to go with the other rook to d8.
other rook to d8, but then even then, like bishop d5 is a very serious alternative to capturing the rook.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's crazy. It just
Is
Isn't
white
he
just winning?
Yeah, yeah. That's the question I'm asking myself.
well,
all
you're
the time.
you're the one with the engine there, Christian. You
From
tell
what I can
us.
see, you
All
know,
right, yes, white is completely winning.
that's so
Okay.
interesting because it seems that Ali Reza was losing at some point. Perhaps not anymore, but there was this theoretical chance for Nepo, not only to stop and catch up with Wesley, but be
To get
possibly
second
tied
place,
for
yeah?
tied for the second place. Yeah.
Oh
He
my goodness.
played b5 and knight to c1 in answer to
But
bishop
knight on c1 is
d5.
not doing anything. You can just collect material, right?
Of
I mean, take
course.
on e8, go
And
d7,
d7, yes.
go d7, take on
This is
d7,
just
knight
over.
f6 next move.
This is just over.
That's
Exactly.
absolutely over.
Wow. What a game.
d7,
Crazy.
beautiful.
Shake the hand.
Absolutely
shake the hand.
beautiful.